have more haters than I have likers. I have more shit talkers than I have stalkers. Maybe it's because y'all never thought I'd be a rapper, but the best shit hits me when I'm on the crapper. I stand here before you, bold and brave. I'm about to create a giant tsunami money wave. So don't even try to stop it, because everything I do turns into a profit. But no matter how much money I make, I still love to eat steak and lots of salmon. It's been my dream since I was a kid to be shot out of a fucking cannon. This is Mark Belton, SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. This message is brought to you by HowMuchYouBench.net, the Slingshot, and the only freaking strength magazine in the world, the PowerMagazine.com. I'm down here in Boca Raton, Florida, and I just did a seminar. And at that seminar, I got a lot of the same question. And the question was, how do I keep myself tight in the deadlift? What does that mean to be tight at the bottom of the deadlift? Well, here is a way for you to find out, a new way that you may not have heard of before. Athletes have used the method before, but I'm going to present it to you in a slightly different fashion. I refer to this as reverse engineering the deadlift. It's an easier conversation for me to sit here and talk to you about how to get yourself tight in a squat and how to get yourself tight in a bench press. Part of the reason why it's easier to have that conversation is because those lifts have an eccentric, a lowering portion to those lifts. In the bench press, you're going to lower the weight down to your chest and then press it back up. In a squat, you're going to squat down and you're going to squat back up. In a deadlift, you're just starting from the bottom. Now you're here, starting from the bottom, then you're coming upward, right? So it's just a concentric portion, and your body's trying to go from 0 to 100, but your body doesn't want to work that way. Your body wants to you want to try to rev up your RPMs first before you go into a full barrel-assing sprint, a full-bore sprint. So how do we get those RPMs up? How do we get tightness? How do we get that sensation? How do we get that feel? Because if I sit here and tell you how to get tight, keep your stomach tight, keep your abs turned on by 30%, and keep your glutes turned on by 60%, if I start telling you all that shit, you're going to be like, what the hell, my glutes turned on? This is disgusting, right? Just shake your head. Page 43, kids, right? Right? Half you guys are fucking sleeping out there. I don't know what's going on with the Power Project Army anymore. You guys need a wake-up call. Anyway, let's talk about reverse engineering the deadlift, which I have coined TM Circle C, and it will be stolen in about 35 seconds from me saying it, because everyone's a thief out there. I don't know what's going on, but it's just not right. Anyway, let's get back to the matter at hand. Reverse engineering the deadlift. How the hell do we do this? I'm not an engineer. I did not go to college for this. Do I need to go to college? What do I got to do? Do I need a degree? How do I reverse engineer the deadlift? What we're going to do is we're going to use about 70% of your max. We're going to use about 70% of your max, of your 1 rep max, 70%. Are you with me? Use a fucking calculator, 70%, okay? Sorry for all the F-bombs, but I get a lot of percentage questions and they drive me crazy. Start with 70%. We're going to perform 5 reps. How many reps are we going to perform, class? 5. I saw you in the purple t-shirt over there. You had the right answer. Anyway, 5 repetitions. What we're going to do, we're going to pick the weight up the best way that we possibly can. Whatever way that is, whatever way that means for you. If you pick the weight up like shit all the time, then you're going to pick it up like shit again. Just pick it up whatever way you can. Pick it up the best of your ability. Do the best deadlift you possibly can to get the weight up off the floor into the top position. Okay? Now what we're going to do, we're going to perform 5 repetitions from this top position. We're going to do the deadlift from the top. So once you are at the top, now the set really begins. What I want you to do, I want you to stand tall. I want you to pull your chest up. I want you to bear down on your stomach. Force your stomach out against your belt. Remember, your belt's not just to protect your back. Your belt is to teach you to utilize your stomach, utilize your abs, push your stomach, your fat, whatever, against that belt to help brace your spine. Now what we're going to do, we're going to try to keep our head neutral, not up too high, but we want our chin kind of back. We're going to have some of our weight back behind the bar. We're going to shift our weight onto our heels. We're going to keep the barbell close to our body. You're going to shift your hips back as far as you can. You're going to utilize that weight as a counterbalance. The weight that's in your hands, you're going to use it as a counterbalance. Shift those hips back as far as you possibly can. Once the weight gets to just slightly below your knee or right about on your kneecap, you're going to force your knees forward. Just as soon as that barbell is just a tiny bit below your knee, as soon as it clears your knee, let's put it that way, you're going to shift your knees forward a little bit so we can get some leg drive out of the bottom of this sucker. Once the legs come forward a little bit, we're trying to bend down, crouch down a little bit like a squat, still maintaining a neutral spine, a neutral neck. Neutral, right? Flat, flat. And then from there, we're going to forcefully drive our feet into the floor, thinking of pressing the floor away from our body. You're thinking about doing like a leg press. Are you with me, you knuckleheads? So from there, you're going to reverse the weight as hard and as violently as you can. Now, we are not going to bounce the weight off the floor. We're going to reverse the weight before it ever touches the ground, or just slightly before it ever touches the ground. If the weight barely kisses the floor, like that, that would be ideal. But it doesn't have to. Just get it really super duper 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 close to the ground. How close? Super duper 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 duper. Pooper scooper. You got it? Okay. After we perform 5 reps like that, we're going to go to 75% and do another 5 reps. After we perform that, we're going to go to about 80% and perform 5 reps there. So we got 5 reps at 70, 5 reps at 75, and 5 reps at 80%. That's 3 sets of 5. You got it? Capiche? Now you can do this in an in-between week, between going heavy, going real heavy for max singles or triples. Or you could do your normal shitty deadlifting program that you keep doing and that you keep not getting progress with, and you can perform this lift after your shitty deadlift program. Maybe I should write an article called Your Shitty Deadlift Program, and I should just write one for you guys that just is not geared towards making any advancements at all, because that's what I see a lot of people doing out there. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. We're going to do 3 sets of 5 with this kind of weight. It can be used as a supplemental movement, a secondary barbell movement. It could be utilized as a main movement on an off or in-between week, or possibly on like a deload. But this will actually be quite strenuous. This method has been utilized before by Benedict Magnuson. You may have heard of him. He's done 1,015 deadlifts successfully. But him and his teammates and stuff have noticed that on a second repetition and a third repetition of a deadlift, that you're in a better position. And a lot of times, that second and third rep, even though the weight's heavy, a lot of times that weight will actually move faster. So what they decided was, let's pull the weights off of a pin out of a power rack, and then they would have their teammates remove those pins. So that's another way of doing it. However, I just think that's a little bit of a hard setup for some of you guys to figure out. I just figure you guys are watching the Power Project and that you have no life, and if you're not watching it, you have no life. But I just figure you guys probably don't have enough friends to pull those pins away. And this is something I've been actually utilizing myself, and I've been utilizing with some of the people that I've been teaching and coaching, and it's been very, very effective, and that's why I wanted to share it with you guys today. I don't share anything that I don't do. I don't share anything that I don't believe in. I don't make any products that I don't believe in. And I don't make any products just to rip other people off. Anyway, so that's reverse engineering the deadlift. The principle behind it is to teach you how to get yourself tight. Feel the sensation. The proper sensations for lifting are crucial. They are imperative to your advancement as a lifter. You want to be a great lifter, you're going to have to know the proper sensations of a squat, the proper sensation and timing of a deadlift. And same thing with the bench press. I already have that in the bench press, and I've had it for years. I just don't even know how to explain it sometimes. But I have whatever the it factor is on the bench press. Deadlift, it's hard for me to figure out. Best raw deadlift was done today. 675 raw conventional deadlift. I don't consider that to be great. I consider myself a work in progress, just like the rest of you. Recently also have done a 665 squat. I don't consider myself an expert in the squat either. When I was in gear, I was very good in the squat, and I had the right timing down, I had the right sensations down, but these are new sensations to me that I haven't had to deal with in a long time. So get the proper feel down, feel how you feel on rep number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Learn how you feel and work towards feeling that same way when you break the weight off the ground. This exercise will help make you stronger, and strength is never a weakness, as you all know, but as you get stronger, your butt shooting up and you doing a 2-part lift will become less and less of an issue. Last but not least, make sure you're staying on top of your ab training. Do some weighted sit-ups, do some planks with some chains or a weighted vest of some sort. Have somebody put 45-pound plate or 100-pound plate on your back. Do some isometric ab work with some weights or some pull-down abs. Stay on top of your ab work. That'll also help increase your deadlift. Strength is never a weakness, and that is it from Super Training TV.